So you guys were I'm hearing a lot of you guys just wanted the theme song shortened, so here we go. This girl reviews movies, games, and books. Sometimes she plays them. So does that, and when she does it with the cat, does that make her crazy? Does that make her crazy? Probably. So, it's shorter. There you go. CrazyCatLady or Martha Butler does not own any trailers or pictures. I use them under fair educational for and entertainment purpose. It's like it's all they did. Well, those years ago. See? No, I don't want to do any more of it.
Alright, finally got done finished listening to that book. Took me a while. Now I'm behind in the Warrior stuff, but I wanted to listen to it, and I found out that while I was listening, when I just got done listening to it, that it's not, the story is technically not done because there is 3 more volumes that I need to read, but I thought since how long the book was to listen to, I thought that all these volumes were like all had to do with this book, but apparently not. So let me know if you want to read those ones. But right now, that's why I'm listening to the next Warriors book. That's what I'm listening to. On with the review. Now that I watched the movie before I listened to this book, I can definitely see some differences already. That they kind of combined the years together because they made it since Elphaba is actually a year older than her sister Rose. She's actually, we actually see her story a lot before her, and the goat dies pretty gruesomely. We don't know if they don't ever tell you who actually does it, but they like hint at who did it, and that was Metamorpho. That's who they kept on like hinting at who did it in the movie, and I guess in the play. I haven't watched, like, I won't know until they actually make the book, actually make the second part of the movie, but in the play, he ends up being like every other animal. What I've learned here in this book, he dies as a representation of victims, basically. This is how I can interpret it. And they do explain like how each of them characters they are separate. They don't really explain how the Scarecrow came who he is, because there is a theory in the book that he is the guy that Elphaba falls in love with, Fiyero, but because I thought he was going to be one of, when I watched the movie, I thought he was going to be one of Elphaba's soldiers, but nope, I was wrong. He was, I don't know if they're going to actually make him the Scarecrow in the movie, but you think that he is the Scarecrow, but then how did he take the straws apart if he was? So it's not really sure, and I guess Noct was not the Tin Man, because he might be in the movie, but in this book he wasn't. It was somebody else, because near the end of the book we see him getting cursed by Rose, but she ends up, because some old lady wants to punish him, and so she does it. And really, I would say she's more witch than her sister after listening to this. Her sister's mostly just like a sign of mostly what racism is, because how they treat her during this book and stuff like that. And they pretty much pushed her into the way she became. And I feel really sorry for her during this whole entire book. And I know it's not how Elfink Baum imagined her. George, this author here, George, and I've noticed now that this is not the only story that he's made into like this, because there's ones for the Cinderella and stuff like that, and other ones where he just basically tells the story of the bad guy and makes you feel sorry for the bad guy. But the original authors don't ever intend to think about really how their bad guy gets to how they do. Sometimes they do, but most of the time they just try to teach kids lessons and stuff like that, and they don't really get too much thought about how the bad guy got to where they're in, at the position where they're in, where they're doing all these horrible things. But I do like them giving these bad guys some like characteristics of how they are, and then we really because in the original book, the Wizard of Oz, he's not a bad guy. He does stuff that are horrible. He sends Dorothy to basically do something that he should do and kill Witch. But in this book, they do give him like a reason why he wants to get rid of the Witch, because the Witch is to him his villain, because she wants to help the animals be able to have their own voice and stuff like that. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Animal Farm in a way, because she wants to keep on letting the animals have their own voice, so that while Metamorpho and the wizard want to rip the voices out of them, make them behave like regular animals, and the witch just wants to help them out, and that's what she does. She's like a rebel during this whole entire book. Glinda, she tries to help her best she can until she does leave, and then she comes, I guess, a tool for Metamorpho, because but then she tries to help Dorothy get home, and we have for a while we have Fiero and Elphaba having an affair after the school, because he does have a wife, and after he dies, we don't know what like he ends up we think he gets killed, but maybe he becomes a scarecrow. It's hard to tell, but we think that he's killed, and then Elphaba goes and lives with his wife and her kids for a while, and he has a daughter. Then Elphaba has a son, who she doesn't know that if it's her or not. I guess he's gonna have his own. He has his own book. So I do, and after that, then Dorothy comes and everything happens to in Wizard of Oz, just in a different way, because we hear everything from her point of view of her wanting to have the shoes. Now, why are the shoes so important in this book is because they allow Rose to walk, because before she couldn't walk because of what her real dad, her mom and her stepdad did to her, to make sure she doesn't end up like Elphaba. They asked a gypsy to like give her some food, her mom some food and stuff like that, to make sure she doesn't end up like that. But there's also a son that never gets mentioned in the movie that actually is the third kid, but they were just trying to make sure that nothing happens to Rose. And the shoes are meant to help her walk better, and that's basically what the shoes were for. And so there is some magical stuff in it of those shoes, because in the real Wizard of Oz, we never really found out what was so powerful about those shoes, besides the fact that it could help Dorothy leave Oz in the first book. But they do give like a good reason why Elphaba does want them, not only because of they're her sister's shoes and she should get them, because they were passed down to her. I don't know why the wizard wants it. I guess wizard thinks that they're powerful too. But he's really after a book, the book that you see in the movie, that they used to turn get the monkey's wings. But that's what he's after, because he can't use that book himself, since he's not magical. He's just a swindler. That's what he's mostly after, and try to get Elphaba to use the book. But the book begins with like and ends where it's supposed to be. It ends with her in water dumped on her, and her son looking for his half sister, because the wizard had one of the daughters of Prince Fiero got to like use them as make sure the wizard doesn't get captured or hurt by the witch, because after she learns about what happens to one of his daughters and have him be used as bait, she goes and kills Metamorpho for everything that has happened, because she has blamed her for everything. And even though we never see her in the book, in a Wizard of Oz book, I guess you can say that she is the real bad guy. I don't think she means, because she was not even thought of. So the author of this book is George. Let me find out how to say his last name. George McQuire. So far, after reading only one of his books, I do like that he gives personalities to these villains in a way a lot better than a lot of other characters out there get characteristics after a while. Like, for example, those Disney live action books, live action movies. I really don't think that they really give the villains a good reason, because really for them all them to do, because they keep on trying to make them identifiable in all these stupid live action movies, and that's why I'm kind of trying. I'll watch them, but I just don't really care for them, because I think this book, it's a lot more, it makes more sense, because they're trying to, just like in the original book, they're trying to teach us lessons. In those movies, they still do try to teach lessons, but they disrespect the original movie, and I think this one does not do that. It gives like more characteristics to the to a lot of the characters that Frank Baum didn't do, because he wasn't thinking about it at the time. But that's why I think that if you're gonna make these books and not only trying to characterize the villain, but Glinda, the wizard, and maybe the lion, because really don't really give the Scarecrow. Maybe they get the Scarecrow if he really is Fiero, then he is given character, but they don't give the Tin Man character. But I just think they just mostly are trying to do what exact thing. They're trying to teach those lesson, but they're not out making the original version terrible. But they do make this one more for adults, unlike the original story, because the original story was for kids. This one is definitely for adults. So that's what I would say about it. If you want to, don't worry if you are, there is no songs in it. That's just something that when it got made into a musical was added in later. So if you're worried about them having songs in it, don't worry, it's not. I just think that's cool that they combined both of the movie and the original book into the same story, because they keep the shoes still silver in the book, while they have the witch green in this one, because she wasn't green in the original book. She had like a patch on her eye and stuff like that, but she was still regular color. So that's why I mostly liked about it. They combined both the movie and the book together. That's why I like what George did there. So if you guys enjoy this, like I said, I'm already starting listening to Sky next for my next book that I'm listening to, but there's a lot of other books I have over here in my chair that I'm going to read eventually, and that is Camp Jupiter Classification, Percy Jackson's Olympus and Demigod's Files. I got Frankenstein, one of Homer's stories, Castle in the Skies, Kingdom Hearts manga, and the Brooklyn's House Magician one. So I'll see you guys later. Like, if you're to subscribe, and bye-bye, and keep on reading or listening if you have a hard time focusing on books. So bye-bye.